Imagine spending years, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, to earn a degree. The golden ticket, you were told, would unlock a promising career. You walk across the stage, cap in hand, brimming with potential, only to find the door to the professional world slammed shut. Or worse, it's still open, but the steps inside have vanished. This isn't just a tough job market. This is a fundamental restructuring of the global workforce, a phenomenon reshaping the economic landscape for an entire generation. They're calling it the Jobpocalypse, a silent crisis where the most crucial rung on the career ladder, the entry-level job, seems to have disappeared. Where have they gone? Are they victims of an AI revolution, snatched by a new technological overlord? Or is it a deeper, more insidious shift in how companies value talent and experience? The truth is a complex, uncomfortable reality that demands our attention, because the future of our economies and the aspirations of millions depend on finding answers. Welcome to Macro Central, where we connect the dots of the global economy. Today we unravel the mystery of the vanishing entry-level jobs and explore the profound implications for graduates worldwide. Chapter 1. The vanishing first step. Defining the Jobpocalypse. The notion that a university degree guarantees a direct path to a professional career is rapidly becoming a relic of the past. For a generation of graduates, the reality is a frustrating, often soul-crushing search for a job that simply doesn't seem to exist. This isn't a cyclical downturn. It's a structural shift that's fundamentally altering the economic landscape. We are witnessing a jobpocalypse for entry-level roles, a profound re-evaluation of what companies consider a basic qualification for their workforce. Let's look at the numbers, and they are stark. In many developed economies, the rate of underemployment for recent graduates is at historic highs. We're not just talking about unemployment, we're talking about graduates working jobs that don't require their degrees, baristas with business degrees, retail associates with engineering qualifications, administrative assistants with liberal arts honours. According to a 2023 report by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, NACE, in the US, while overall graduate employment rates remain decent, a significant portion of these roles are not in degree-related fields, or they are roles traditionally filled by non-graduates. In Europe, the situation isn't much better, with reports from Eurostat indicating persistent challenges for young graduates to secure stable career track positions, especially in Southern Europe. The bar for entry level has been quietly yet dramatically raised. What once required a degree now often demands a degree plus 2 to 3 years of relevant experience, a portfolio of projects, and a highly specialised skill set. A Reuters analysis of job postings over the past 5 years showed a nearly 40% increase in roles labelled entry-level that paradoxically required 1 to 3 years of prior experience. This creates a catch-22. How do you get experience if no one will hire you without it? This isn't just a gatekeeping mechanism. It's a fundamental mismatch between the pipeline of talent emerging from universities and the evolving demands of the global labour market. This phenomenon extends beyond traditional white-collar roles, even in sectors like manufacturing and skilled trades, which are experiencing labour shortages. Companies are increasingly looking for candidates who can hit the ground running, often requiring certifications or apprenticeships that go beyond a general education. The idea that a broad liberal education alone prepares one for the workforce is being challenged, leading to significant disillusionment among young professionals. This is creating a crisis of confidence in higher education itself, as students question the return on investment for increasingly expensive degrees that no longer guarantee a clear career path. Chapter 2. The Automation Avalanche and AI Ascent. The machines take over. If the job market is a shifting landscape, then automation and artificial intelligence are the tectonic plates violently reshaping it. The disappearance of many entry-level roles can be directly attributed to the relentless march of technology, a process that has accelerated far beyond previous predictions. This isn't just about robots on assembly lines. It's about algorithms and software now capable of performing tasks once reserved for humans at the very beginning of their careers. Consider the traditional entry-level administrative roles: data entry, basic report generation, customer service triage, scheduling. These tasks, often monotonous but essential, were historically stepping stones, providing new graduates with their first taste of the corporate world and a chance to learn the ropes. Today, much of this work is being automated. Robotic Process Automation, RPA, software can handle repetitive, rule-based tasks with far greater speed and accuracy than a human. AI-powered chatbots are fielding initial customer inquiries, intelligent scheduling tools are optimizing calendars, and sophisticated data analytics platforms are generating reports with minimal human input. A report by McKinsey Global Institute estimated that by 2030, automation could displace as many as 73 million jobs in the US alone, with many of these being routine entry-level positions. The rise of generative AI, exemplified by tools like ChatGPT and Google's Gemini, has taken this disruption to an entirely new level. Tasks that require basic writing, research, coding, or content creation, jobs often given to interns or junior associates, can now be performed or significantly augmented by AI. A marketing graduate might once have spent hours drafting social media posts. Now, an AI can generate dozens of options in seconds. A junior analyst might have meticulously compiled data. Now, AI can pull and synthesize information instantly. This doesn't necessarily eliminate jobs entirely, but it drastically changes the nature of the remaining work, pushing it towards higher-level analysis, strategic thinking, and creative problem-solving, skills that are harder to automate and typically require more experience. This technological upheaval creates a paradoxical demand. While the demand for routine tasks diminishes, the demand for AI whisperers, individuals who can effectively prompt, manage, and integrate AI tools, is skyrocketing. However, these are often not entry-level skills. They require a blend of technical understanding, critical thinking, and domain-specific knowledge that new graduates may not possess without targeted training or prior experience. The traditional skills taught in universities are increasingly becoming foundational rather than directly job-ready, forcing graduates into a constant race to upskill and adapt to new technological advancements, a race they often feel unprepared for. The machines aren't just taking over jobs, they're fundamentally redefining what it means to be a valuable human worker in the 21st century economy. Chapter 3, The Experience Paradox, the catch-22 of a modern career. One of the most infuriating aspects of the current entry-level job market is the experience paradox. You need experience to get a job, but you can't get experience without a job. This catch-22 is trapping an entire generation in a frustrating cycle, delaying their entry into meaningful careers and exacerbating economic anxieties. The traditional pathway involved entry-level positions providing a training ground where companies invested in new talent, knowing they would gain experience on the job. Today, with increased economic uncertainty and pressure on profit margins, companies are less willing to make that investment. They prefer to hire candidates who can contribute immediately, reducing training costs and minimizing perceived risk. This shifts the burden of gaining experience almost entirely onto the individual, often before they've even entered the workforce full-time. This is where internships come in, or rather, where the internship game has become fiercely competitive. Internships are now virtually mandatory for securing a post-graduation job. However, paid substantive internships are often limited, highly sought after, and sometimes inaccessible to students from lower socioeconomic backgrounds who cannot afford to work for free or for minimal pay. This creates an uneven playing field, where those with financial backing or robust networks gain a significant advantage in accumulating the crucial experience that employers demand. In fact, a study by the Economic Policy Institute found that unpaid internships disproportionately benefit students from wealthier families, further entrenching economic inequality. The problem is compounded by the fact that many entry-level job descriptions are, in reality, for mid-level roles disguised to attract cheaper labour. Companies list requirements that demand extensive prior experience, expecting candidates to hit the ground running with minimal oversight. This practice, often driven by a desire to extract maximum value from new hires and avoid costly training programs, effectively eliminates genuine entry-level opportunities. Young graduates are left wondering if they are simply not good enough, when the reality is that the job market itself has shifted the goalposts. This experience trap not only impacts individual career trajectories, but also has broader economic consequences. When young talent is underemployed or unable to enter their chosen fields, it represents a misallocation of human capital. Innovation slows, productivity growth stagnates, and the economy misses out on the fresh perspectives and energy that new graduates bring. The pipeline of future leaders and specialists is being choked off at its very source, creating a long-term risk for industries that rely on a continuous influx of skilled workers. Breaking this paradox requires a fundamental rethinking of how companies approach hiring and how educational institutions prepare students for a drastically different working world. Chapter 4, The Great Reset and Skill Gap, Post-Pandemic Disruption. The COVID-19 pandemic didn't just disrupt economies, it served as a brutal accelerator for trends that were already simmering beneath the surface. For the job market, it acted as a great reset, forcing companies to rapidly adopt new technologies, reevaluate their operational structures, and fundamentally rethink their talent needs. The result is a magnified skill gap. where the abilities graduates possess often don't align with the urgent demands of post-pandemic employers. The sudden shift to remote work, for instance, exposed critical deficiencies in digital literacy, self-management, and asynchronous communication, skills that many traditional curricula hadn't prioritised. Companies, having invested heavily in digital transformation during the pandemic, now seek candidates who are not just digitally literate, but digitally fluent, capable of navigating complex software ecosystems, collaborating virtually, and leveraging data-driven insights from day one. A report by the World Economic Forum highlighted that critical thinking, problem-solving, and self-management are now among the top skills employers are looking for, often above specific technical knowledge. Furthermore, the pandemic caused significant churn in many industries. Sectors like hospitality, retail, and travel experienced massive layoffs, pushing experienced workers into a competitive struggle for a smaller pool of jobs. When these industries began to recover, they often prioritised rehiring experienced staff or automating tasks to reduce future vulnerability, further shrinking the space for new graduates. The boomerang employees, those who left companies during the Great Resignation and then returned, also absorbed many roles that might otherwise have been entry-level openings. The curriculum offered by many universities, however, has struggled to keep pace with this rapid evolution. While foundational knowledge remains crucial, the speed of technological change means that specific technical skills can become obsolete quickly. What employers truly need are durable skills: adaptability, resilience, critical thinking, creativity, and effective communication, paired with a strong understanding of new digital tools and methodologies. There's a growing disconnect between what institutions teach and what the modern workplace demands, leading to graduates who feel well-educated but ill-prepared for the immediate realities of employment. This skill gap isn't just about technical proficiency, it's about a mismatch in mindset and practical application. Bridging this gap requires a deeper collaboration between academia and industry, a continuous feedback loop that ensures educational pathways are truly relevant to the jobs of today and tomorrow. Chapter 5: Debt, Disillusionment, and Delayed Adulthood, the Human Cost. Beyond the economic headlines and labour market statistics, there's a profound human cost to the vanishing entry-level job. For millions of young graduates, the inability to launch a career means crippling debt, growing disillusionment, and a forced delay of traditional adulthood milestones. Let's start with student debt. For many, the promise of a better future came with a hefty price tag. Graduates in countries like the United States are often saddled with tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans. When entry-level jobs are scarce or underpaying, these debts become an overwhelming burden. The repayment schedules, designed for those quickly entering well-paying careers, become impossible to meet, leading to financial stress, damaged credit scores, and an inability to save for the future. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York reported that student loan debt in the US surpassed $1.7 trillion, often making it the largest financial obligation for young adults, overshadowing even mortgages. This financial pressure translates into disillusionment and mental health challenges. Years of hard work and sacrifice in higher education, followed by endless job applications and rejection letters, can take a severe toll. A sense of betrayal often sets in. I did everything right, why isn't it working? This can lead to anxiety, depression, and a loss of self-worth. Studies by organisations like the American Psychological Association have increasingly highlighted the heightened stress levels among recent graduates, directly linking financial insecurity and career uncertainty to mental health declines. The most visible consequence is delayed adulthood. Young people are putting off major life decisions that previous generations took for granted. Buying a home becomes an impossible dream. Getting married and starting a family are postponed indefinitely. Even achieving basic financial independence, like moving out of their parents' homes, becomes a distant goal. This societal ripple effect impacts housing markets, consumer spending, and ultimately the long-term demographic health of nations. When a generation cannot gain economic footing, the entire economy stagnates, deprived of the dynamism and consumption that young adults traditionally bring. The psychological impact of being a boomerang kid, returning to live with parents after university, can erode self-esteem and create friction within families. It also means less disposable income for new businesses, less investment in new homes, and a slower circulation of wealth. This generation is not just facing a job crisis, they're facing a crisis of identity and opportunity, struggling to find their place in a world that feels increasingly rigged against them, despite their education and ambition. The dream of a prosperous future, once so vivid, is slowly fading under the weight of an unyielding job market. Chapter 6: Navigating the New Landscape, Strategies for Survival and Success. While the picture for entry-level jobs may seem bleak, it's not without hope. The landscape has changed, but new pathways and strategies are emerging for graduates willing to adapt, innovate, and proactively shape their own careers. This isn't about finding the jobs that vanished. It's about identifying and creating the jobs that are emerging. The first crucial strategy is relentless upskilling and reskilling in in-demand areas. The era of a static education is over. Graduates must become lifelong learners, constantly acquiring new skills, particularly in areas like data analytics, artificial intelligence literacy, cybersecurity, cloud computing, and advanced digital marketing. Online platforms like Coursera, edX, and LinkedIn Learning offer certifications and courses that can quickly add tangible value to a resume. Employers are increasingly valuing demonstrable skills over degree alone, making these certifications a powerful differentiator. The focus should be on micro-credentials that directly address current industry needs, often in conjunction with their formal education. Second, networking has evolved from a passive activity to a proactive necessity. It's no longer just about attending career fairs, it's about building genuine relationships with professionals in desired fields. LinkedIn is a powerful tool for this, but so are industry conferences, online communities, and informational interviews. The goal isn't just to ask for a job, but to gather intelligence, understand market needs, and uncover hidden opportunities that aren't advertised. Mentorship, both formal and informal, also plays an increasingly vital role in navigating complex career paths and gaining insights that are not taught in textbooks. Third, the gig economy and project-based work are no longer just for freelancers. They are legitimate pathways to experience. Platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and even specialized industry-specific marketplaces allow graduates to take on small projects, build a portfolio, and gain real-world experience. This is a direct answer to the experience paradox, allowing individuals to demonstrate their skills and reliability to potential employers, sometimes even leading to full-time offers. Building a personal brand online, showcasing expertise through a blog, social media presence, or open source contributions can also create visibility and attract opportunities. Fourth, embrace entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship. The entrepreneurial spirit allows graduates to identify unmet needs and create their own solutions, potentially building the very entry-level roles that no longer exist. This doesn't necessarily mean starting a massive tech company. It could be a small consulting service, a specialized online business, or a community initiative. Intrapreneurship, applying an entrepreneurial mindset within an existing organization, involves taking initiative, identifying problems, and proposing innovative solutions, making oneself indispensable even in a challenging environment. Finally, reconsider the dream job tunnel vision. The first step in a career doesn't always have to be the perfect job. Sometimes taking an adjacent role, a temporary contract, or even a highly competitive internship can provide the necessary experience and connections to pivot into the desired field later. Adaptability and resilience are key. The career path of the 21st century is rarely a straight line. It's a dynamic, often winding journey that requires continuous learning, strategic pivoting, and an unwavering belief in one's capacity to adapt and thrive. The jobs may have changed, but the opportunity for those willing to reinvent themselves remains profound. Conclusion: the shifting sands of opportunity. The vanishing entry-level job is not a myth. It's a complex reality born from technological upheaval, evolving corporate demands, and a re-evaluation of what constitutes job readiness. The traditional pathways to a career have been disrupted, leaving a generation of graduates grappling with unprecedented challenges. But this is not a story of inevitable doom. It is a story of adaptation. The skills in demand have shifted from routine tasks to higher-order cognitive abilities, digital fluency, and emotional intelligence. The burden of gaining experience has largely moved from employers to the individual, making proactive skill development and strategic networking more critical than ever before. The jobpocalypse is a wake-up call, not just for graduates, but for educational institutions, policymakers, and employers. We must foster a culture of lifelong learning, bridge the skill gap through dynamic curricula, and create more accessible on-ramps for young talent. The future of our economies depends on harnessing the potential of this generation, not leaving them behind. The sands of opportunity have shifted, and only those willing to navigate the new terrain will discover the fertile ground beneath. What's your experience with the entry-level job market? Are you a graduate struggling to find your footing? or an employer seeing a change in talent acquisition? What advice would you give to those starting their careers today? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thanks for joining us on Macro Central. If you want to keep connecting the dots on the biggest economic stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We'll see you in the next one. Remember, when it comes to your money and your economy, knowledge is power.